Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Welcome to a new Steel Division 2 cast. The matchup for you today, we have Charles versus Frubblord. So Charles is on the left hand side in red. He's playing the 5th SS Panzer Viking on balanced income. And Frubblord is on the right hand side in blue. He's playing the 352nd Infantry on flatline income. So balanced versus flatline. I think we saw this before where Charles was playing flatline against a balanced income played by Sean. This time obviously Frubblord playing flatline against a balanced Charles deck. Will the income make a big difference here? I guess there's only one real way to find out, isn't there? Let's have a look at Charles's deck. He is playing the 5th SS Panzer Viking on balanced income. And let's have a look what he's got. So early on, 2 Jagdpanzer 4s in the anti-tank tab along with 3 T-34-85s. That's his tank complement in A, so fairly limited, but then he is a balanced deck, remember. I always have to remember that. 2 MG42 cards in A. I think we've seen a recent Charles cast where he loves to use those machine gun cards. Oh, interesting card of grill in C. We often don't see those cards of grills being taken. Wow, look at that. 2-star Panzergrens in A phase. So he's got 3 cards of A phase Panzergrens, 1 at no vet with the Panzerfaust, 1 at 1 vet with no Panzerfaust, and 1 at 2 vet with no Panzerfaust. But he does take the commander in A. So I guess if he uses his leader with those 2 vet, they become 3 stars. But it's kind of surprising he doesn't take both cards as 1 star and then use the commander to up vet to 3 stars. In terms of AA, I think we are now starting to see players increase the amount of AA in their decks. This is obviously following the Fate of Finland patch. We have 3 Flak 43s. They are looking quite strong for the Germans. We then have 2 Flatflings in B, and that previously would probably be the entire AA someone would take, but then we have another 4 Flatflings in C, so at least 2 cards of Flatflings now, so we are seeing that impact. No planes in A phase, so Frubblord won't have to worry about the planes, but I think for Charles it's all about penetrating the big Jagdpanthers. Charles does have the Focke-Wulf 190 F8s in C. They can certainly do that job, and then he's going to have to rely on the Panthers and getting close, really. So those Jagdpanthers could be quite a big threat. I guess he will try and bomb them with the HE 111s maybe as well. Let's jump over to Frubblord. So he is on flatline income. In terms of the Jagdpanther, he does have 1 in A and then 2 in B. So we will see those Jagdpanthers before C phase, so will Charles be able to deal with those? He also has the Pak 43s that can deal with Panthers quite easily. He has 2 of them in A, and then he's got 5 Pak 40s in B, so he's got a lot of anti-tank guns. Those Pak 40s as well can deal with Panthers really easily. HS 129s in the plane tab, he's got 1 in A and 2 in B. They can deal with Panthers. But in terms of his own tanks, obviously he has those Jagdpanthers. Other than that, it's just Stugs. So he's going to have to rely on those Jagdpanthers. I think if he can get value out of the Jagdpanthers, he will definitely be in a good spot. I mean, based on this map, I'm guessing... Well, it will be interesting to see what happens. In terms of infantry, he has a lot more infantry units. I think Charles had around 66. Frubblord's got 112, so he does have more infantry units at his disposal. And I think if he crushes Charles's early A phase infantry, he could be in for a good time. it's going to be interesting, you know, does Charles have enough infantry in A phase to carry him through? The good thing about the 352nd is they do have access to the double IG-18 card. So he can have one in A and then a card in B as well. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle. I mean, looking at the two decks, can I call it at the moment? I think it's tough to say. Real tough to say. I don't think I could say that either side has a great advantage. I think Charles is really going to need to take out those Jagdpanthers. That's going to be the... Well, that's possibly one of the big threats to Charles, is how he deals with those Jagdpanthers. If he can dispatch them quite easily, I think he could go on, you know, to do well. If he struggles to dispatch them, he could lose a lot of Panthers. A lot of Panthers. So, we'll see how this progresses. We're just waiting for the game to start up and we'll get going. Right, we are now underway. So, let's refresh our memory. Charles on the left hand side in red, playing the 5th SS Panzer Viking on balanced income, very balanced deployment as you'd expect. It doesn't look like there's going to be much action in the northern side. Frubblord playing flatline income. I think it's all about the south for Frubblord. He is making a move into that central compound, and it looks like Charles is ignoring that central compound, so that could be an interesting play. You know, will Frubblord push further forwards and try and take that flag? But I feel like this entire game is going to come down to this southern half of the map. That's probably where most of the action is going to be throughout the game. We have a lot of flame troops coming in, Stoss troop and Flammenwerfers combined. I think Frubblord will be happy with his initial deployments. Virtually no skirmishing whatsoever. I think Frubblord is a player that tends to be fairly safe with his deployments. Doesn't tend to engage in those early kind of rush deployments with flamers, you know, unloading next to flamers, you know, when Nilla and Prestigion completely pass each other by. He's not that kind of player, and Charles the same. He's a very balanced player, so he tends to, you know, he's someone like Sean who always plays balanced. He does tend to attack in places, but Charles, I think, much more reserved, so very quiet start. Frubblord has picked up this flag here due to the 2 units in the compound. I think, I mean, if he can put an infantry unit somewhere nearby, even in this building, he may well recover that flag. So should be a simple one to recover. Looks like the IG-18 was engaging the Panzergrenz moving forwards. Charles possibly looking for some kind of flank here, or to get close to this side and then use those 2-star Panzergrenz with the MG42s to really power their way through the IG-18 and the PaK 3850. So it looks like Frubblord is making an engagement through this forest, popping smoke with those Flammenwerfers, and then pushing forwards with the combined use of those Flammenwerfers and Stoss troop. But I mean, once Charles gets rid of those, there's just the one Panzergrenz squad and another one back here, so let's see how effective this is. One of them does go down, but he does manage to route to the Panzergrenz, does discover the Panzergrenz Führer. Charles backs that away. There is a commander just on the other side of the ridge as well. The Panzergrenz further up are engaging, do take out 2 of the units. Frubblord is kind of... he's pushed everything back, but I wouldn't say he's got a decisive victory in that engagement. We've got 2 T-34-85s going into the central area. We do have a PaK 3850 here, but it's all on its lonesome right now. Very tight engagements from both players. We might see this one go a little while. It looks like the Panzergrenz do go down in that compound. Charles moving forwards once again. Oh, the IG-18 has gone down. I think that was the combined fire of the MG42 and the Panzergrenz once they're into position. The Pak-38 starts firing at the Panzer T-34-85. That Pak-38 needs to get a good shot in. I think it's going to struggle now. And Frubblord calls that back early, I think. I don't think that was fully suppressed, so Frubblord hit the falling back command. And it's actually falling forwards into the line of fire of the T-34-85, so possibly a mistake from Frubblord there. I mean, I think he could have left that thing firing. It was going to die. I think it was going to die either way. Charles has surrounded the Stoss troop with the MG42. The Panzergrenz moving up from the north, from the south, sorry, and the other Panzergren unit moving across from the east. West. God. Terrible. Terrible. Frubblord continuing to engage in the southern area though. Charles has managed to capture that compound, completely surround the one Stoss troop man remaining in there. It's back to a 12-12. Frubblord has the flag further up, but he has advanced in this southern area. A couple of 81mm mortars have come in to smoke the way forwards. Looks like Charles had invested in that central area, really trying to put himself in control of this central area, but we do have a Jagdpanther on the field, and those T-34-85s could be in trouble. They need to get into some kind of cover. I mean, for me, I would have to try and dart them forwards as quickly as possible. They're going to have to engage at close range. I mean, that 145mm, oh, they're taking shots from the Pak-38 here up on the ridge as well. We have two Panzer 39HFs coming in. Oh, these T-34-85s look in trouble, because that 145mm of penetration, that's going to be around about 500 meters. Yeah, they are now completely backing off. In order to penetrate that Jagdpanther, they're going to want to be at very close range. Certainly within 1,000 meters, you know, you would want them really to be within that close range 500-meter circle to guarantee kills. They may be able to sneak a side shot somehow. The Stoss troop are discovered and the remaining units unload. Just back down to the south, Frubblord has captured this southern flag. He's got one Flammenwerfer sitting on there. The commander, oh, has switched position. For a moment I thought it had gone down, but the commander switched position. Interesting. One of the T-34-85s did go down to the Jagdpanther. We do have a load and knockout on him though. Stoss troop do engage the Panzergrenz. They do get a Molotov off, but die before they can follow that up. In comes a HS-129B3. Oof, does take out one of the T-34-85s there. Frubblord will be pleased by that pass. There is the Flak 43 opening up at quite a distance, but oh, and that's going to get engaged by the Panzer 39HF. So Frubblord 13-11 up right now, but he's maintaining two, you know, fairly tight flags here. I mean, he has now got a lot of Panzergrenz coming in reserve, so he certainly has enough units here, I think, to hold on to this flag. If he does, and if he can set up a base of fire on the top of this ridge, it could be very hard for Charles to get back into play here. I think he's going to need to invest points into this area very quickly. I'd like to see the MG42 maybe reposition just to fire on one of the units, but you know, he's going to be doing a lot of micro here. I can point out perhaps things I like to see get done, but often if I was in this position I would be struggling to micro myself. Charles is a much better player than me, so You know, I can understand it takes some time to do that. In come the mortars. I think Frubblord thinks there's something just back here. Usually there could be. Although he's pushed forwards with a lot of units now in this southern area. Charles desperately needs to get reinforcements into these two positions. We are still in phase A. And Frubblord has the 130 points advantage right now. Charles has no anti-tank weaponry on his infantry. That's really helping Frubblord out. But if Frubblord gains control of these two areas, it could be game over for Charles. Just the way these areas work. We've seen it in the past with Frubblord. He may well park a unit sort of up in this position to fire on the reinforcing road here. And, you know, he'll probably just park something straight down on the road to fire on that area there. And there'll probably be the two B-phase Jagdpanthers. I would expect a Jagdpanther to come in, sit on this road and just look straight down the reinforcement road. And then if he can gain control of this ridged area, probably a Jagdpanther up here. But he does lose out eventually. The Panzergrens do succeed in taking out Frubblord's units. So he has managed to succeed for now, Charles, but his squads are fairly low strength. In come the reinforcements. Good call there. We are now into B phase. Charles does have the slight income advantage now per minute. 10 points extra per minute. In comes a HS129B3 targeting those Jagdpanzer 4s. If Frubblord can take this down, he's going to have no anti-air opposing him. If he can take down these units, he has a chance here to really stamp his mark on this position. Drive and knockout does get the kill eventually on one of them. There is the other one there. That'll be a big blow to Charles, but for the moment there's just one Panzergren, one Panzergren Führer holding this entire little area. It does bring reinforcing Panzergrens in, but there is a Panzer 39H just blocking that reinforcement road. It depends where these Panzergrens go. Will they get caught by the reinforcements? By the Panzer 39Hs. It looks like they are going to. Frubblord moving forwards, trying to get hits on those units as they reinforce into position. Flammenwerfer as well trying to fire, but Charles somehow avoids it all and manages to get his infantry all the way through. Wow, I'm not sure he intended that. Wow, he's actually almost all the way through to the commandant at the back, and he's redeploying, looking to get this flag and try and completely surround Frubblord's units here. What a move from Charles there. Fantastic play. I think Frubblord was a little unlucky that he didn't manage to kill any of those units in the transports, but Charles did a fantastic job there. Frubblord does have two sets of pioneers coming into the same position. That'll be a big fight. I don't think the Panzergrens are going to win out. Yeah, they're re-surrounded because of the commandant. It won't lose any territory. So, and those pioneers, once they get the satchel charges off, that Panzergren is going to be dead. But nice movement there. Nice movement. Good attempt. Wow, the mortars could even be in trouble, or at least be spotted. The Jagdpanzer coming right the way up to try and attack that Panzer 39H, and Charles is noticing that Frubblord has no anti-tank on his infantry either. Frubblord trying to flank this Jagdpanzer, but has stopped just short. There is another tank clearly taking shots. It might be a Pak 38. The Jagdpanzer slowly turns its turret. Yeah, it was this Pak 38 back here. Slowly turns his turret, gets the kill, but there is another HS129B3 on the way in. Will that Jagdpanzer survive? It's doubtful. Looks like Frubblord did lose line of sight of that vehicle, so it does survive for now. Charles once again repositioning his commander. So Frubblord is 14-10 right now. Charles has two flags back here. Both of these flags he could easily hold. There is a Panther up on the northern side as well as a Fat 43, so I think maybe he's going to do some work up there if he can start to afford some more units. He's got a Multi-Wilferswerfer coming into that central area as well. I think that's to attack the Jagdpanther. that Jagdpanther just a dominating presence in that central ground. So I think Charles just managed to get enough reinforcements in to really hold up this push from Frubblord. He's resupplying his mortars and smoking off that Jagdpanzer IV. Good play there. Down go one of the Panzergrens. Frubblord has managed to make his way through this sort of swampland next to the river and is threatening Charles's key supporting units in the back. So yeah, I think Charles is going to make a play up north at any time soon. We have some Panzergrens and a Panzergren Führer going up there. Frubblord is trying to reinforce his position in the south. He still has the 1311 now, having lost this central flag. I mean, there's two flags here that Frubblord has a very weak hold of. The Panzergrens do start to engage the Flammenwerfers. 2 against 1, they should win. Yet Frubblord backs off. He's trying to use his SPWs to really defeat those Panzergrens. Actually throws smoke which covers Charles's Panzergrens, enables them to hop into the building. So little bit of a misplay there, but I think we can forgive him for that. AA does come into the southern side to sit by that commander. Oh, here it is. Here's the Jagdpanther coming up onto this sort of ridge line to try and hit those reinforcing units. I mean, I'm sure that was just taking a shot at the flat-footed. It may have been the infantry there that it was taking a shot at. But yeah, this kind of position here, it can fire on this reinforcement road down here and make it really difficult to get any kind of reinforcements in. And it's actually, you know, far enough away that there's no real heavy cover for Charles to hide an AT gun in. The closest point would be this point here, but it would be far enough away to, you know, exploit the distance there. Oh, the Wilfwerfer attacking that Flakvilling further back. So is Charles preparing a C-phase Focke-Wulf strike onto that central Jagdpanther? Frubblord gets the message though, you know, why is someone attacking my AA? I'm going to bring in some more AA. So he gets the message there. We have the leader, the Panther A, Nicolussi Lek, onto the field. Just beautiful skin. Beautiful skin there. I always like to show off the leader units. So Charles still hasn't launched his northern attack, although I think he did lose a Panther. He had a Panther up here. Oh no, it is disguised in between all of those units. Another Panther coming into the central area. Another HS-129B3. Oh, I think it's lost sight or something died. It either lost sight or something died. Yeah, look at this positioning, this Jagdpanther positioning. Perfect. Perfect. And look at the units pouring in from Frubblord into this southern side. He's going to go for this southern push once again. A lot of armour has gone down here. Has to be careful the Stug 3Gs don't expose themselves to the Panzerfaust, but he can definitely maintain some range. I think Charles is really in trouble in this southern position. He's invested units up into the north to prepare for a push, but right now I think he's got to concentrate on this southern position. Well, the Wilfwerfer does fire some rockets. I think whatever it had left at this general area, just trying to slow down this advance, but I don't think that's going to work. The Pak 3850 is being fired upon by the Stug 3G. And the Pak can definitely take out the Stug at this range. It's going to take him a little while, especially with the new AP mechanics. Yeah, the APCL shells were used and now are out. AP wise, 100mm of penetration. He is going to struggle at that range to penetrate the Stug 3G. I'm kind of surprised Frubblord's backing off there, although only down to 2 HE shells. I think he might as well fired those last 2 HE shells and then backed off. But he is conserving his units there. The Stugs making their way up to the ridgeline. They're going to be in getting into a great position, but there are Panthers still around. The Jagdpanther needs some resupply. That is out of HE shells. But in comes Charles' attack. Right, we have Charles' attack up in the northern side. There is a pack 3850 that's going to be the key to holding on. One of the transports goes down. Charles does unload the remaining Panzergrenz. Does pin down the Sekirungs. Frubblord has to react quickly here. He's going to lose those Sekirungs. The only thing left is that pack 3850. Frubblord has to react quickly, otherwise he's going to lose this northern side completely. But the Jagdpanther's still a big threat, preventing any southern push. Looks like Charles is going to go for the 1-2 here. He's bringing the Panthers down from up north. He's going to try and get some side shots onto that Jagdpanther while the Panther A engages frontally. Frubblord down in the south though, he's defeated pretty much all of Charles's units. The Panzergren Führer is only on 2 men left, and that is going to go down any second now, especially with a ME-109 G2R1 heading in, and actually it goes down before that, so that bomber will circle around without any target to fire upon. Frubblord, in comes the HS-129. He is being engaged. Jagdpanther, will it survive? First strike comes in, down goes the leader, falling back on the second one, and down goes that as well. The HS-129 saves Frubblord there, but the Jagdpanther did go down in the center. I think it was probably a side shot from this Panther A here while it was retreating. I think it will have shown that's the SPW. Here it is. So it did show frontal armor. It may have been a side shot, a last gasp side shot in from the northern position. But Frubblord is 1410. He has a big hold of this southern side. There is a Jagdpanther still in here. I think that's what the Focke-Wulf was coming in for, but Frubblord did manage to steer it away and out of trouble. Charles is going to have to really gain a massive advantage up in the northern side to enable him to hold off the advance that Frubblord's made in the south. This is going to be fairly tight from now onwards. Frubblord has had a 13-11, a 14-10 lead for quite a while now, and he is 14 minutes left until Frubblord wins this game. There are 22 minutes played so far. We are into C phase. Charles has his 170 points income advantage over Frubblord with 130 points, but balanced against Flatline, I mean, it's only 40 points a minute difference, so 400 points every 10 minutes. It's not as big as a gap as Vanguard. In come 2 bombers to attack the Flak 43 here. Both release the payloads. Oh, and completely decimate that AA piece. Wow, that was a big attack there. Really leaving Charles without any AA up in the northern side. That's going to hurt if another one of those HS-129s do come in. Charles still hasn't gotten rid of the units in this compound. He can't see them, so none of the tanks can fire on them. So he doesn't have this central flag either. In comes the HS-129 for the 1-2 after that AA piece goes down, and it's unlikely this Alpha Club Panther D is going to survive. The real damage comes when they get into close range with that kind of fire on, which I think is actually the... It seems like that's the 30mm that does more damage than the 75mm AP shells, because the rate of fire on that thing is pretty fast. But you can see with the early shots, when it gets a full range, down it goes. So unfortunately you do lose the information panel. But yeah, at sort of max range, that gun doesn't have as big an effect as the 13mm. When it gets into that closer range, you really see the kind of almost machine gun fire of those 13mm cannons. They seem to do more damage. Finally, the central compound is surrounded. Charles does pick up the flag, gets himself a 13-11. But Frubblord still has the tick. Attack in onto the Jagdpanther, and it does go down. The Focke-Wulf 190 F8 does the job. Takes away a big unit from this southern side. I think Frubblord has one more Jagdpanther left. Oh no, that is up on the northern side. The last Jagdpanther in Frubblord's deck is up on the northern side. It's going to be all about that. Ooh, we do have a pack 43 that's going to start engaging now as well. That could actually do quite a bit of damage here. The Panther A is pushing forwards up against a number of units here. The Jagdpanther, the Stug, the pack 43. That's going to go down any minute now. I think Charles realised, tried to back it off at the last second, but it was too late. The Focke-Wulfs are tangling with the bombers. Focke-Wulf does get the kill there, although I'm not sure what gave him that kill. Looks like he's searching around for targets. That Jagdpanther is there. We do also have a Flakveling and also an SDKF-72 do force back that Focke-Wulf on the northern side. I mean, Frubblord looks in a fantastic position in this southern area. I don't think he realises how little Charles has down here. He could definitely overtake another 2 flags quite easily. All concentration at the moment's up on the north for Charles. I mean, he has to find some way of... I feel like it's a pretty tough position for Charles right now, because he needs to get at least 2 flags to start some kind of victory tick. And Frubblord's position in the south, just look at the number of units he's got. He must have traded so well in this southern area to have that amount of units left remaining. In comes a Focke-Wulf 190 D9. Is he trying to take on that pack 43? But he's pushed himself right into the path of a 7-2 here. Wow, it looks like that Focke-Wulf did not engage the pack 43 there. I think a bit of a fighter issue on the cards. Oh, the Focke-Wulf engaging an area of Frubblord doesn't have troops. He'll be happy to see that occur. So the Focke-Wulf 190 coming in, striking down onto the Stug. Doesn't get the kill. There is a follow-up one on its way, and will that Jagdpanther go down? It looks like it's in the open. Surely it can be seen. Yes, it can. In comes the Focke-Wulf. Will it get the kill? This is a big moment. Will that Jagdpanther go down? No. No. Unfortunately, did not manage to get the kill on that attempt. Oh, in comes the HS-129. It's going to take shots at the Panther A, and that one does go down. No AA in this central position for the moment, so... I think this flag here, Charles has managed to take it, but this is such a defensible position up here. These 2 flags here are really difficult for a player to hold. I mean, it's alright Charles taking it, but he's got to hold that for, well, probably, like, even if he went up with captured another 2 flags, he'd still have to hold this position for another sort of 40 minutes. And, you know, this kind of defensible terrain, heavy forest, ridgeline, you know, light forests, It's just very, very close to the spawn, basically on top of the spawn. It's just so defensible that I don't think Frubblord will be too worried by this. I think it's just a really tough position to attack and hold unless you're already at a massive advantage. In comes another Focke-Wulf. Looks like it's going to turn and attack the Stug. The Jagdpanther is moving forwards. Does Charles spot it in time? The Focke-Wulf does make it. Oh, wow! One rocket did manage to make it through. So the Flakveling definitely stopped all of those rockets being used, but one was enough. Made it through and did get the kill onto that Stug. So we've got Panzergrens trying to push up again into the central area. The Panthers should come up onto the field. The Stugs are spotted, and those Panthers should be able to deal with it relatively easily. There is a Pack 40 on the way. Frubblord trying to mortar the area. Down goes one of the Stugs. Surely the other one will go down now as well. Panzergrens are forced back, but I think the Panthers coming up the hill is definitely... Oof! One of them goes down. Big kill from the Stug there. Massive kill. It does go down in reply, but taking out a Panther, that Stug's done enough. Yeah, that Stug has done enough. In comes a HS-129. It may have lost sight now that that Panther D has just reversed back down the ridge. Yes, it has. And there is a Focke-Wulf 190 D9, but there is also a Flakveling here. Oh, the Focke-Wulf couldn't quite finish the job in time, but it has forced back that HS-129 off map into the northern side. 380mm off map. Wow, this area is going to be devastated. Charles is going to lose this area. There's no doubt about it. It's the biggest off map, possibly not quite the biggest in the game, but one of the biggest. In comes two Focke-Wulf attacks. Does manage to pick up one Panzer kill. And Frubblord replying with ME-109s. I think he's attacking the Flak 43 there. No, he was attacking the forest, but I think he had the wrong position. In comes a lot of reinforcing troops. So Frubblord starting to look a lot weaker in the south because he's had to devote resources to that north, but Charles has managed to pull it back to a 12-12, taking this flag here. Well, it looks like he's going to attack this position down here, but there are a lot of troops. A lot of troops. In comes the off-map. We missed the initial strikes, but yeah, everything pinned down. Are there more shells? Are there more shells? Surely. Down goes one of the MG42s. Frubblord following it up. I think that's it for the number of shells, because it's such a big caliber. There aren't many shells that you get, but yeah, certainly enough to pin everything down, make Charles fall everything back, and Frubblord can just walk forwards into the position. Oh, Charles has made an advance into this central compound. That was a good move, and he's trying to push forwards, but there is a Pack 43 with those HE shells firing. The grill, maybe that could get involved, but that Pack 43 will easily take care of any armoured vehicles, so would make things tough. Charles looks to be on somewhat of a comeback here. I mean, he's certainly pulled it back from the last 5 minutes, although Frubblord, you know, with capturing these two flags again, does bring it back up to a 14-10. These Ersatz-Trooper won't last too long though, so Charles should get that position. But there are 3 more reinforcing Panzergrens. Yeah, Charles picks up that position once again. 13-11 to Frubblord. More Focke-Wulfs coming in to try and take down that Jagdpanther. There is a HS-129 in here as well. The Focke-Wulf does retarget onto that HS-129. The rocket plane does miss the Jagdpanther. And the HS-129 makes it through. Oh, that Panther's in trouble now. That Panther's in real trouble. Yeah, down it goes. Side shot. Side shot from that HS-129. Another Focke-Wulf coming in. But unfortunately, it is too fast there, so it's going to overshoot. I don't know whether it's going to have chance to circle around, but Looks like it is. No, it's not. I thought it was going to turn that way, but it decided not to. A second Focke-Wulf anti-tank rocket plane coming in to try and take on that Jagdpanther. Focke-Wulf 190 D9 did chase, but wasn't able to get through. Will that Jagdpanther go down? Surely. Yes. I was going to say, I think it's had 3, maybe even 4 attempts. So I was expecting that one to win out. That's all of the Jagdpanthers dealt with from Charles. He still has time. 4 minutes left on the clock. It's not a lot of time though. It looks like he is reconcentrating on this southern side. Now his distraction in the north has paid off. He's retreated his position. We'll be interested to see whether Frubblord pushes forwards. But if he does push a Grenadier forwards, reconnects this front line, the Flammenwerfer may push the flag here. Charles has to be careful of that. But he is now investing a lot of reinforcements here. His Focke-Wulf 190 F8 rocket attacks are taking their toll. And Frubblord is starting to get pushed back. He has to hold on for 3 minutes 35. Charles just needs 1 flag right now. But where is he going to make that flag? They're all tough to capture. If he could take down this Pack 43, I think the central one he might be able to take, but there's still a lot up there. Eventually he would lose it. Oh, he has managed to take this one here. Yes, so back to a 12-12. Are we seeing a resurgence from Charles? Are we seeing a comeback? 35 minutes on the clock. Is Frubblord going to lose this game from a commanding position he was in, what, just 5, maybe 10 minutes ago? Charles has some reinforcing infantry awaiting to be pushed forward. The Stugs are starting to move in. No AT on any of these units. There is a Stug 3G down here. Yeah, in comes the HS-129. I was literally about to say that. Frubblord completely reliant on these HS-129s now. The Flatvilling is enough still to hold off the Focke-Wulf 190 D9. You know, don't be underestimating the power of AA. It is still strong. Gets the kill. Does get the kill. There is 2 Flatbillings here, sorry. 2 Flatbillings. Down goes the Panther to the HS-129. In comes... Oh, and down goes that Focke-Wulf. So definitely 2 Flatbillings, unvetted, is still enough to kill any kind of low resilience fighter bomber, you know, fighter rocket type plane. The mortars are back into use. Throwing smoke down. Charles is bypassing Frubblord's units. He tried this before. The commandant is discovered and does go down. So Frubblord's lost a lot of his veterancy here on the southern side. A lot of his units are going down in veterancy. Off map does come in, and wow, Frubblord has repositioned that all the way from the northern side, all the way down the roads into this middle section. That off map could hurt Charles massively. Frubblord does pick up the 1311 once again. Charles is so close to this flag. Frubblord has reconnected the front line here and does pick up this flag, just like we said. Back to a 12-12. Charles has captured this one. There is an off map any moment now. Bombs come in onto the Stug 4, sorry, the Panzergrens do pin them down. Reinforcements coming into the southern side. This is going to be a fairly tight finish. Charles may well still have it in him to flip this. There is little reinforcements here, but the off map about to hit. Will these soldiers make it through in time? No, one of the squads is pinned down. All of them now pinned down by that off map, and it's just at the right time for Frubblord. In comes his reinforcements, pulling straight up to the Stug, but they have the Panzergrens. Sorry, the Panzerfaust. Both of them, 1-2, Stug and Panther down. Wow. Big plays from Frubblord. Big off map. Halts the progression of Charles just at the right time. Panzerfausts on those Panzergrens coming on and literally unloading next to the Stug and Panther, taking them out. Big kills from Frubblord. Up on the northern side we have Focke-Wulfs tangling with ME-109s, but Frubblord Charles has had this flag kind of uncontested for such a long period of the game. The Panthers are coming into the centre. I really don't want to write Charles off. This is very close. 1 minute 40 left on the clock. If Charles can equal the 12-12 and just hold a 12-12, I think he can defeat Frubblord. It's just a matter of, you know, pulling back that 12-12 is going to be mighty difficult at this point, but he does it. He does recapture that 12-12 flag. Frubblord push him once again in the north though. May well capture that very upmost northern flag. There are limited units down here as well. Another off map coming down will make that tough, and he is moving into position to take down this central flag as well. Frubblord has it in him to hold on to this flag. I think this is the last chance saloon attacks that Frubblord is pushing through here. Will Charles hold off this northern attack? These Panthers, I don't think they can be... the Flammenwerf can certainly stress them out, but... Charles just pushing through and trying to take the flag here with a fast move. I mean, at this stage of the game... Oh, here comes the HS-129! Oh, down goes the first one. The second one does not go down. The Focke-Wulf does come in. That Panther D does it. Oh, but Charles loses this flag back here. Because the Panthers have pushed through, Charles loses this rear flag. And he's desperately trying to hold on to this northern flag with the incoming Panzergrenadiers. I think if this one Panzergrenadier unit does go down, Charles might be able to hold on to this and surround that Flammenwerfer. Stug goes down in the centre. Frubblord back to a 13-11 briefly. Less than a minute. Back up to it. Less than a minute on the clock. HS-129 circling. Charles is reinforcing infantry on its way in. 12-12 once again. Charles is just parking units on flags right now, desperately trying to get them. Frubblord gets the kill with the HS-129 once more. Where has the AA been from Charles? It doesn't feel like he's had barely any AA up. I'm sure he's had... I'm not sure Frubblord has destroyed all of Charles's AA. Panzergrens are holding on to that northern flag. The Flammenwerfers are surrounded. They will lose that flag. 40 seconds. 40 seconds, but that flag is going desperately slowly. That territory is closing so slowly. I can imagine Charles making a push through on this southern side. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing with this Stug 4. Trying to take this flag back. Finally, the flag closes once again. Back to a 12-12. Very tight. I mean, you've got to favour Frubblord at this position. Charles is just making desperate moves to try and pick up flag after flag. 20 seconds left on the clock. I think this southern push here has secured it for Frubblord. 20 seconds. Charles has to find a flag, and I don't think he's going to find it. This southern push has come through just at the right time for Frubblord. 10 seconds left on the clock. Less than 5 seconds. The Panther goes down. Frubblord does get the victory. Wow, fantastic finish to a slow burning game there. Congratulations, Frubblord. Commiserations, Charles. I did really enjoy that game. 41 minutes, 46 seconds. Frubblord, 5,000 kills to 3,600 losses. Although some of that difference may well be in the last sort of 5 minutes when Charles was desperately pushing units to try and capture flags at all costs. Let's have a look at some of the kills for Frubblord. The HS-129s, the stars of the show. Certainly much more so than the Jagdpanther. Panzer T-34, Jagdpanzer 4, Panther A, Panther A, Panther A, Panther D, Stug 4, Stug 4. Big kills from that HS-129. Big kills. And where was Charles's AA? Did Frubblord kill Charles's AA? Because it did not feel like it. We've got a Flak 43 going down here. We've got another Flak 43 going down here. But that is it. Just 2 Flak 43s destroyed. I'm pretty sure there was more AA in Charles's deck. In fact, we do still have access to it when I bring it up here. Yeah, so where were the Flakvillings? Where were those Flakvillings? That is one of the questions on my mind. And I think if Charles watches this back, I mean, he was devastated from the air over and over again. He tried to use his Focke-Wulf fighter planes and he was relatively successful, but without the suppression damage of AA, I think he really struggled. The Jagdpanther, the initial Jagdpanther that came in, I think, although it only took out 2 Panzer T-34s, I think this is the first one into that central area. It did such a great job of zoning out Charles from that northern central area that Frubblord was just able to get a 1311. And I think also those Flammenwerfers, did they survive the entire game? Did they survive the entire game? I think they did. They did survive the entire game in that one little compound in the center. They were constantly getting surrounded over and over again, but every time that they were able to hold the front line, you know, Frubblord didn't not only captured his flag at the compound, but he captured the one behind that. And it was that slow 13, 11, 14, 10 lead that Frubblord just had for pretty much the entire 41 minutes of this game. Pack 40 did a nice job as well, stuck 4 kills and a Panther D. The off map, not huge, more of a suppression tool in this case. There we have it. There we have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I certainly enjoyed it. It felt like a slow burner of a game, but definitely those last 5 minutes were very intense and very tight. Congratulations to Frubblord, commiserations to Charles. If you enjoyed the video, please drop me that like, drop me a subscribe, head into the description, head to my streamer links. It's got all my links to my Discord, you know, Twitch channel. Join the conversation. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts were, and also if there's anything I can improve or, you know, content that you want to see. Let me know. Hopefully the sound's a little bit better on this one as well. Thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Birds. I will see you next time.